Death was not the end Qui-Gon expected. He existed now as pure consciousness, a whisper in the Force. He watched the Clone Wars tear the galaxy apart. He watched Anakin fall to the dark side. He watched Order 66 exterminate the Jedi. And he could do nothing. Just watch. It was agony. He drifted through the wellspring of life, the mysterious realm where the Force itself originated. The Father, the Son, and the Daughter were long gone. Mortis had faded into legend, but their power remained buried deep in the cosmic force. And then Qui-Gon felt it. A disturbance. A crack in time. A vergence so powerful it made the Force itself tremble. He followed the sensation to a place beyond space, beyond reality. There, suspended in brilliant light, hung a portal. Through it, he could see the past. His past. Naboo. Coruscant. The Jedi temple before it burned. A voice echoed around him. Ancient. Eternal. The path forward is closed. But the path backward remains open. Qui-Gon reached toward the portal. His hand, translucent, ghostly, touched the surface. Energy surged through him. For the first time since his death, he felt real. Solid. If I go back, Qui-Gon said quietly, can I change it? Can I stop what's coming? The voice didn't answer. It didn't need to. Qui-Gon knew the risks. Changing the past could shatter the timeline, create new horrors, new suffering. But the future he had witnessed was already a nightmare. Palpatine victorious. The Jedi extinct. Anakin lost forever. He had to try. Qui-Gon stepped into the light. The Force roared around him. Time bent. Reality twisted. He felt himself being pulled backward through the years. Past the Clone Wars, past Geonosis, past Anakin's training. And then, suddenly, silence. Qui-Gon opened his eyes. He stood in the Jedi temple. Solid. Alive. He looked down at his hands. Flesh. Real flesh. Around him, Jedi walked past oblivious. They were young. Unbroken. Unaware of the doom waiting for them. Qui-Gon checked the date on a nearby console. 3 years before the Clone Wars. 3 years before Palpatine's plans reached fruition. He had time. Not much, but enough. Qui-Gon turned and headed straight for the council chamber. He had a warning to deliver. The council chamber doors flew open. Qui-Gon Jinn strode inside, alive and urgent. The 12 council members stared in shock. Master Yoda's ears twitched. Mace Windu half rose from his seat. Qui-Gon. Windu's voice was sharp. You're supposed to be on a diplomatic mission in the mid-rim. I was. Qui-Gon stopped in the center of the chamber. But I'm not that Qui-Gon. Not yet. I'm from the future. Silence. Then laughter. Nervous. Disbelieving. Master Jinn, Cotamundi said slowly, have you been injured? Perhaps you should see the healers. I don't have time for this. Qui-Gon's voice cut through the room like a blade. Listen to me. In 3 years, the Clone Wars will begin. A separatist movement will rise, led by Count Dooku. Yes, our Dooku, fallen to the dark side. The Republic will build a clone army. The Jedi will become generals. And at the end of it all, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine will activate Order 66. Every clone trooper will turn on their Jedi commanders. Thousands of us will die in a single night. The council exchanged glances. Concern. Confusion. Yoda leaned forward on his Jimmer stick. Traveled through time, you claim. Proof of this, have you? I know things I shouldn't. Qui-Gon stepped closer. Master Windu, you'll lose your right hand to Anakin Skywalker. Master Yoda, you'll go into exile on Dagobah. Ki-Adi-Mundi, you'll die on my Jedi, shot down by your own troops. Mace's jaw tightened. That's enough. It's not. Qui-Gon's eyes locked on Yoda. Because the worst part is this. Palpatine is the Sith Lord we've been searching for. He's Darth Sidious. He's been manipulating the Senate for decades. And unless we stop him now, everything I've described will come true. The room erupted. Impossible. Palpatine has served the Republic for years. This is madness. Only Yoda remained silent, studying Qui-Gon with ancient eyes. Mace stood. Master Jinn, you're making an extraordinary accusation. Against the Supreme Chancellor. Without evidence, we cannot act. Then let me find the evidence. Qui-Gon's voice was steel. Give me time. Let me prove it. Mace shook his head. We'll investigate. But you're confined to the temple until we determine what's happened to you. Qui-Gon Jinn. They didn't believe him, and time was already running out. They put him under observation, a polite way of saying house arrest. Qui-Gon paced his quarters like a caged animal. Outside, the temple went about its business. Padawans trained. Masters meditated. The galaxy turned, oblivious to the storm approaching. 3 years. That's all he had. 3 years to find proof. To expose Palpatine. To stop Order 66. But the Council wouldn't listen. They saw him as unstable. Delusional. A Jedi who'd lost his mind on some distant mission. He couldn't wait for them. That night, Qui-Gon slipped out. He knew the temple's security. Every blind spot. Every patrol route. Within an hour, he was on the streets of Coruscant, heading toward the Senate district. Palpatine was careful. Brilliant. He'd hidden his Sith identity for decades. But Qui-Gon had something Palpatine didn't expect. Knowledge of the future. He knew where to look. He started with Palpatine's associates. The banking clan. The Trade Federation. The Techno Union. All of them had ties to the separatist movement. A movement that didn't even exist yet. But the groundwork was already being laid. Qui-Gon followed the credits. Shell corporations. Secret meetings. Encrypted transmissions. It was all there, hidden beneath layers of bureaucracy. But it wasn't enough. The Council needed undeniable proof. A recording. A witness. Something that proved Palpatine was Sidious. And that meant getting close. Dangerously close. Qui-Gon broke into Palpatine's Senate office after hours. He moved like a shadow, using the Force to mask his presence. The office was pristine. Too pristine. No personal items. No clutter. Just a desk, a chair, and a view of the city. He searched everywhere. Datapads. Hidden compartments. Nothing. And then he felt it. A cold presence. Dark. Watching. Qui-Gon spun. The office was empty. But the Force rippled with malevolence. Palpatine had sensed him. Not here. Not now. But somewhere across the city, the Sith Lord had felt the disturbance. Qui-Gon's blood ran cold. He'd made a mistake. Palpatine knew someone was hunting him. And the hunt had just become a race. Qui-Gon fled into the night, knowing one truth with absolute certainty. Time had just run out. Qui-Gon found Obi-Wan in the temple training halls, instructing a young Anakin in lightsaber forms. They both stopped when they saw him. Master, Obi-Wan's voice was cautious. I thought you were confined to quarters. I was. Qui-Gon stepped forward. But I need your help. Both of you. Anakin, only 14, looked between them with bright, curious eyes. What's going on? Qui-Gon knelt, so he was eye level with the boy. Anakin, do you trust me? Of course. Then listen carefully. The galaxy is in danger. A Sith Lord is hiding in plain sight, manipulating the Republic. And if we don't stop him, everyone we love will die. Obi-Wan frowned. Master, the Council said, the Council is wrong. Qui-Gon stood. I know how this sounds, but I've seen the future, Obi-Wan. I've watched the Jedi fall. I watched you fall, Anakin. And I've come back to stop it. Anakin's expression shifted. Fear. Confusion. Me? What do you mean? Qui-Gon hesitated. He couldn't tell them everything. Not yet. If Anakin knew he would become Darth Vader, it might push him toward that very fate. You're going to face a terrible choice, Qui-Gon said carefully. And in the timeline I came from, you made the wrong one. But I'm here to make sure that doesn't happen. Obi-Wan crossed his arms. And you expect us to just believe you? No. Qui-Gon pulled out a datapad. I expect you to investigate. I've been tracking Palpatine's financial ties, secret meetings, connections to people who will one day lead the Separatist Alliance. Look at the evidence. Then decide. Obi-Wan took the datapad. He scrolled through the files, his expression growing darker with each page. This can't be real. It is. Qui-Gon's voice was firm. And it gets worse. Palpatine has been grooming Anakin, gaining his trust, turning him into a weapon. Anakin stiffened. The Chancellor? But he's been kind to me. I know. Qui-Gon placed a hand on the boy's shoulder. That's how manipulation works. He makes you feel special, important. And then, when you're vulnerable, he strikes. Obi-Wan looked up from the datapad. If this is true, we have to tell the council. They won't act. Not without proof. Qui-Gon met his former Padawan's eyes. So we're going to get it. Together. Anakin ignited his lightsaber. Blue light filled the room. Then let's get started. Palpatine stood alone in his private chamber, deep beneath the Senate building. The room was lined with Sith artifacts, holocrons, ancient texts, relics of power that no Jedi knew existed. This was where Darth Sidious truly lived. And here he felt it. A disturbance. A tremor in the Force. Someone was hunting him. Investigating. Getting too close. At first, he dismissed it as paranoia. But no, this was real. Someone knew. Not everything, but enough. Palpatine closed his eyes and reached out through the dark side. He felt Jedi, 3 of them, moving in secret, gathering evidence. Interesting. He didn't know how they discovered his identity. It didn't matter. What mattered was containment. Control. His original plan was elegant. Slow. A decade-long manipulation that would culminate in total power. But if the Jedi were onto him, he couldn't wait. He would have to accelerate. Palpatine activated his comlink. Activate the Separatist cells. All of them. Immediately. My lord. Dooku's voice crackled through. We're not ready. The clone army won't be operational for I don't care. Palpatine's voice was ice. Begin the attacks. Target key systems. Make it look like chaos. The Senate will demand action. And I will give it to them. He cut the transmission. Within days, the galaxy erupted. Bombing campaigns on Coruscant. Attacks on Republic shipping lanes. Entire colonies going dark. The Senate panicked. Emergency sessions. Demands for military intervention. And Palpatine, ever the concerned leader, called for the creation of a grand army of the Republic. The Jedi Council resisted, but the Senate overruled them. The war Qui-Gon had warned about, the war that wasn't supposed to start for 3 more years, had begun. And Palpatine smiled, because now the Jedi were distracted, stretched thin, desperate. They wouldn't have time to investigate him. They'd be too busy trying to survive. Qui-Gon stood in the Temple War Room, watching the holographic map light up with conflict zones. Obi-Wan's voice was hollow. It's happening. Just like you said. Anakin clenched his fists. We have to stop him. Now. Qui-Gon dead. Then we go to the Senate. We confront him publicly. Force him to reveal himself. And if he doesn't, Obi-Wan asked. Qui-Gon ignited his lightsaber. Then we make him. The Senate chamber was packed. Thousands of representatives from across the galaxy filled the floating platforms. Palpatine stood at the center podium, delivering a speech about unity and strength in the face of the Separatist threat. And then the doors exploded open. Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Anakin strode in, lightsabers ignited. The chamber fell silent. Palpatine's smile didn't falter. Jedi Masters, what is the meaning of this intrusion? Qui-Gon's voice carried across the chamber. Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, you're under arrest for treason, conspiracy, and for being the Sith Lord Darth Sidious. Gasps. Shouts. Chaos. Palpatine laughed. Soft. Amused. This is madness. I am a servant of the Republic. These Jedi have clearly, we have evidence. Obi-Wan stepped forward, holding up a datapad. Financial records. Communications with Separatist leaders. Proof of your manipulation. Palpatine's expression darkened. Just for a moment. Then the mask returned. Fabrications. The Jedi seek to undermine democracy. To seize control. Enough. Qui-Gon pointed his blade at Palpatine. I know what you are. I've seen the future you're building. And I won't let you destroy the galaxy. Palpatine stared at him. And then, slowly he smiled. Ah, so that's it. You're not from this time, are you? His voice shifted. Colder. Darker. You've traveled back. How fascinating. The chamber went silent. Palpatine raised his hand. You want proof? Very well. Lightning erupted. Blue energy exploded from his fingertips, slamming into Qui-Gon. The Jedi Master raised his lightsaber, deflecting the blast, but the Force drove him backward. Senator screamed. Platform scattered. Chaos erupted. Obi-Wan and Anakin charged. But Palpatine moved like a shadow. His lightsaber, red, burning, appeared in his hand. He parried their strikes effortlessly, laughing. "Did you really think you could stop me?" Palpatine's voice echoed. "I'm the dark side incarnate." He unleashed another wave of lightning. The Senate chamber exploded in flames. And through the smoke, Palpatine's yellow eyes burned. Qui-Gon struggled to his feet. Obi-Wan, Anakin, but it was too late. The Sith Lord had been revealed. And now, the galaxy would burn. The Jedi Temple received the distress call minutes after the Senate chamber exploded. Mace Windu assembled a strike team immediately. Masters Kit Fisto, Aegon Kohler, C.C. Tyan, the best duelist the Order had. They raced toward the Senate building, lightsabers ready. But when they arrived, the battle was already lost. The Senate chamber was a war zone. Platforms burned. Bodies lay scattered. And at the center, Palpatine stood alone, robes torn, face twisted in Sith rage. Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Anakin were barely standing. Wounded. Exhausted. "Masters!" Obi-Wan shouted. "He's, we know." Mace ignited his purple blade. "Supreme Chancellor, you're under arrest." Palpatine laughed. "How many times must I hear that today?" The Jedi attacked. For Masters. All at once. A coordinated strike designed to overwhelm even the strongest opponent. But Palpatine was not just strong. He was ancient. Decades of dark side mastery. Centuries of Sith knowledge. He moved like lightning. His red blade flickered through the air. Aegon Kohler fell first. Then C.C. Tyan. Kit Fisto lasted seconds longer. Only Mace remained, driving Palpatine back step by step. But then Palpatine smiled. "Execute Order 65. The command echoed through the Senate Guard's comlinks. An emergency protocol. A failsafe designed to protect the Chancellor from Jedi aggression. The Senate Guards turned, raised their weapons, and opened fire. Qui-Gon deflected the blaster bolts, but there were too many. Obi-Wan grabbed Anakin, pulling him behind cover. Masters fell across the chamber. "Retreat!" Mace shouted, but Palpatine wasn't finished. He raised both hands. Lightning exploded outward in all directions. Jedi screamed. The Senate chamber collapsed. Qui-Gon watched in horror as his order, was slaughtered. This was supposed to be prevented. This was why he came back. But he'd failed. Palpatine stood atop the rubble, arms spread wide. "Let this be a lesson. The Jedi are traitors, enemies of the Republic. And I will restore order." Across Coruscant, clone troopers received new orders. Hunt the Jedi. Kill them all. Order 66 had begun, 3 years early. It was all Qui-Gon's fault. The temple was burning. Clone troopers stormed the halls, executing Jedi on sight. Padawans. Knights. Masters. No one was spared. Qui-Gon moved through the chaos, deflecting blaster fire, guiding survivors toward the escape hangar. Obi-Wan fought beside him. "We have to go. The transports won't wait." "Where's Anakin?" Qui-Gon shouted. Obi-Wan's face went pale. I don't know. He was right behind us." Qui-Gon est sunk. He reached out through the Force. And he felt it. Anakin. Alone. In the council chamber. And with him, Palpatine. "No." Qui-Gon turned. "Get everyone out. I'm going back." "Master, you can't. If I don't, we've already lost." Qui-Gon sprinted through the burning temple. He dodged clone patrols, leaped over rubble, his only thought, get to Anakin. Don't let him fall. He burst into the council chamber. Palpatine stood at the center, hand extended toward Anakin. The boy was on his knees, tears streaming. "It's not your fault." "Anakin," Palpatine whispered. "The Jedi failed you. But I can save the ones you love. I can teach you the power to stop death itself." "Anakin, no." Qui-Gon ignited his lightsaber. Palpatine turned, smiling. "Ah, the time traveler. Come to save the chosen one. Step away from him. Or what? You'll kill me? You've already tried." Palpatine gestured to the burning city beyond the window. "The Republic is mine. The Jedi are broken. And Anakin will be my greatest weapon." Anakin looked up, eyes red. "Master Qui-Gon, what do I do?" Qui-Gon stepped forward. "You come with me. We leave. Together. We rebuild." Palpatine laughed. And let the galaxy burn? Let her mother die? Les pas midi? Anakin flinched. Qui-Gon's blood ran cold. Palpatine knew. He always knew which strings to pull. Anakin, Qui-Gon said softly, I can't promise you won't lose people, but I can promise that the dark side won't save them. It will only destroy you. Anakin stood, trembling, torn, and for one terrible moment, Qui-Gon didn't know which way he would fall. Then Anakin reached out and took Qui-Gon's hand. Palpatine's smile vanished, and Qui-Gon pulled Anakin toward the door, toward the escape, toward hope. Behind them, Palpatine's voice echoed, Run, Jedi, but you cannot escape destiny.